Welcome to the Business Alignment Masterclass. I am Kell and I want to thank you and congratulate you on spending some time investing in yourself and in your business. Now, if you don't know much about me, I am a business strategist and coach, and my business journey began 18 years ago when I opened my own Alabache franchise. I was a newly graduated beauty therapist, and I thought, what better way to get a leg up into the business world but open a franchise? And I knew that as a franchise owner, I would be supported in knowing how to set up my salon, how to perform my treatments, what products I would sell. And I also knew that all of the policies and procedures and systems would be provided to me. And they absolutely were. But fast forward 5 years into my Alabache journey, I had become a mum of two girls, and my life was starting to look very, very different. And I was beginning to fall out of love with my business that I had created. I was even getting a little bit bitter and resentful because of the amount of time it was taking from my life and not giving to my life. So fast forward 10 and a half years after opening the doors, I decided to close the doors. And I still say it was one of the greatest days of my life, because when I turned the key on the front door for the very last time, I was almost physically, emotionally, and mentally broken. I was absolutely exhausted. And upon reflection, I know now that I held on to that business for probably 5 years too long. Now, I was about to take a 6-month sabbatical. I was going to switch off and I was going to spend time with my young family and really work on the health of me. And the universe had a different idea. Less than 2 weeks later, I had created a company with my best friend called She Can. And She Can still exists today. It just looks a little bit differently. We ran and facilitated and created live events for women right across regional Victoria and eventually expanded into New South Wales, South Australia, and Tasmania. However, when the world went mad and COVID hit, we lost our business pretty much overnight. And so a lot of stress transpired over those couple of years, and we now run an annual event in Bali. And I still absolutely love and are pulled to do that business based on the service that we provide. In and amongst all of that, I'm also a personal stylist. I work one-on-one with clients, but in 2021, that led me to create an online personal styling course. Now, that course no longer exists. And so you might be saying, why is she sharing all of this with me? And the reason is because I want you to understand that in my 18 years of business, I have done many things. I have changed my mind. I have pivoted. I have tried new things. I've been a seller on Amazon in the US. I have dealt with China. I've done more things than most people do. But this is your permission to know that it is that you can change your mind, that you can pivot. And when it is that you are connected to knowing what it is that you really want in your life, and it is about creating a business that is going to give you that. It's about creating a business that is in alignment with what it is that you want from life. So over the next say 20 minutes, we're going to work through the workbook that is a part of this masterclass for you to kind of take a breath, to take a step back and really have a look at your business. Now, you might have been in business for 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, or 2 decades. It doesn't matter. I think this is a really important thing that you can do regularly, just to check in to make sure that you are doing the things that you love and that your business is giving you what it is that you truly want out of life. So as I said, there is a workbook attached to this masterclass. If you haven't yet printed it out, I would say either do that so you can fill it out as we go, or just pop it up on a screen and use your own journal and take notes to answer the questions. But let's jump in and start at step 1, and that is about reflection and review. And I really absolutely love being able to reflect on many things in our life and in our business. Now, This is not perhaps the normal type of reflection that you might think of when it comes to business. This is not necessarily about looking at our P&L. It's not looking at our key metrics, but this is about kind of really reflecting on how it is that you felt when you first got into business and possibly what has changed. So you'll see in your workbook, there is, some prompts and some questions. And the first one is about rewinding the clock and really understanding when you first got into business, what did your life look like? Was it that you were married or were you single? Did you also have a job and started your business part-time? Were you studying and then decided to start a business? Did you have children or not? And if you did have children, what were their ages? It's really about having a comprehensive look at what did your life look like when you first got into business. Now, I want you to go into as much detail as possible. And as I said, if you've been in business for 2 decades, this might really take some thought, but I want you to do your best to kind of really dig deep and work out and think about what did your life look like in all aspects when you decided to start your business. And then I want you to connect and reconnect back with the emotions and the feelings you felt about starting your business. Like, what was there? Was it excitement? Was it hope? Was there a sense of pride that you were going into business for yourself? Was there certainty, or was it more about nervousness? Was there a little bit of anxiety? Was there a little bit of the fear of the unknown? Whatever those initial feelings were, I want you to note them down. And then lastly, in step 1, I want you to kind of tap back into what were the motivating factors and the driving forces that led you to wanting to get into business. Like, was it freedom? Was it choice? Was it time? Or was it circumstance? I mean, think about what is it that led you to create and start your own business. So I would recommend pausing the video here, going ahead, completing the questions in your workbook, and then come back for step 2. Okay, welcome back. So let's get into step 2. We're going to look at now, what are your life and your business values? Now, this is something that not often do we consider when it is looking at the alignment of our business. Now, it kind of, when you start to think about it, it makes a lot of sense that our life and our business should be in alignment with each other. But this is a question that I ask all of my one-on-one clients before they begin. This is something that is actually in their pre-session consultation form, because what I love to know is what are their driving values for their business. Now, I don't believe that I've ever had a client that's life values are exactly the same as their business values. Now, absolutely, there are some crossover, but generally they are a little bit different. Now, I always feel like 5 is the sweet spot. And so I'm going to leave that up to you. And if it is that you have not yet done this, I'm going to suggest that you go onto Google and you find a method of determining your life and business values that works for you. There are many ways on how to determine what your life values are. For me, I would suggest going and getting a comprehensive list of all of the core values that you could possibly think of and work through them and kind of pull out which ones that you feel really align to you, what jumps out off the page, and make a note of all of those values. And this could be a process that takes a couple of hours. This could be a process that takes a couple of days or a couple of weeks. And what I mean by that is you're going to come and get a short list, and that short list could be 20 or 30 life values. And then you might take those values and say, well, what kind of means the same thing? You know, like if it's joyful and happiness and cheery, maybe you're just going to choose one of those words that's going to encompass all of that. And you're going to take that short list and break it down to a smaller and smaller list. And then it might be that you put that list up somewhere. and you kind of just connect with it over the next couple of days and sort of say, well, what is it that kind of means something and I can cancel another one off? Which is the one that I'm really vibing with, until you get it down to say 5. Now, I know some people that have 3. I know some people that have, 7 or 8. I find 5 is the sweet spot, but I'm going to leave that up to you. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we've got our life values and our business values. So I'm going to ask you now, if you've already got them, perfect. Pause the video, take some time, fill out your workbook. If you don't, pause the video, go and start the process. As I said, you could get it in 20 minutes. It could be 2 hours. It could be 2 days. It could be 2 weeks. This is something that you really want to get right. But pause the video here, go away, start your life and business values, and fill out your workbook. Welcome back. Let's get into step 3. And this is where we're looking at where you're at and how you feel right now about your business journey. So this is an opportunity to get crystal clear on where you're at and how you're feeling and where it is that you're wanting to go. Now, I view your role in your business and your business itself as 2 entirely separate things. And I'm going to encourage you to think like that for this section of the masterclass. So for step 3, you're going to think about you and your role and your business as 2 entirely different things. And we're going to start off by getting really clear on, how do you feel in your business right now? Are you motivated? Are you really clear on your vision? Do you know where it is that you're going? Do you have drive? Are you passionate? Or is it that you're perhaps lacking a little bit of inspiration? You might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit lost, a little bit tired. What I want you to do is remove any judgment. This is not a time to feel shameful or guilty. It's just a matter of putting your honest reflection points down on paper. And you'll see in the workbook that you can just move through each of the questions. Now, we're laying out here our overall feeling about our business. Later down the track, we're going to look at the individual and specific tasks that we may or may not enjoy in our business, but this is just our general feeling overall about your role in the business. And then question 2 is about getting clarity on perhaps how it is that you would like to feel. Is that different to how you currently feel right now? Is there something missing? Is there something you're wanting more of? Maybe there's a feeling that's been coming up that you're like, I'm really liking this. I'm feeling like this is good. I want more of that. So use the reflection section to come up with any thoughts or ideas of how you would like to be moving towards what it is that you would like to feel like. As I said, that might be calling more of it in, or it might be about, what are the things that need to change? What are the things that really need to be worked on? And then part B of step 3 is about you analyzing the business itself. How is it currently operating? Are there any gaps? Is there any pain points or improvements that can be identified? Is it that actually everything's on track, everything's motoring along? I would like to, scale faster. Whatever it is for you, whatever is your reality, I want you to take a really good look at how the business is operating itself. And then have a bit of a look about where you would like the business to be in 12 months' time and then 5 years' time. Now, if it is that you are new to business and 5 years seems so long down the track, just start with 12 months. No pressure there. Just have a bit of a think about, what is it that you would like the business to look like? How would you like it to be operating? Do you have ideas about things that you would like to introduce? All of those things. This is an opportunity to just take a step back, take a breath, and get some real clarity around what it is that you would want. And then, of course, use the reflection section again for your thoughts or ideas of how it is that you could make those things happen. So pause the video now and come back and we'll get into step 4. Welcome back. Let's get into step 4. And this is what I like to call the business happiness analysis. And we're going to talk about here all of the tasks that we need to do in business. Now, when we start out in business, we often start out as a team of one. And you might be watching this masterclass now and saying, well, I'm years into business and I'm still a team of one. And that is completely okay. But what it is that you'll know is that as a team of one, or a solopreneur, as I like to call them, you are responsible for doing all of the things. You are the bookkeeper, you are the admin manager, the marketer, the head of finance, the help desk, the tech support, you are the customer service, you're also the cleaner, you're in charge of bookings and inquiries and follow-ups, and you're doing all of the things. And as business owners, we can often disregard the sheer number of tasks and decisions, which is a whole other conversation, with the sheer number of tasks that we complete on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis in our business. And so there are going to be some tasks that are daily tasks. There are other tasks that are going to be weekly and monthly, many of which you will probably do without giving a second thought. However, this is an opportunity for you to get really clear on all of the tasks that you are responsible for in your business. And as I said, if you are a team of one, that is pretty much everything that needs to be done. And in my experience, when business owners start to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, stressed, or unhappy in their business, it comes down to the fact that they are doing tasks that don't light them up. Now, I want to just pause here and say, I totally understand if you are a team of one, if you are a solopreneur by choice or otherwise. I get that you are going to do tasks that you do not enjoy because there is no other choice right now. That is totally fine. I still want you to do this step 4. And step 4 is about doing a comprehensive stock take of all of the tasks that are required in your business and that you are responsible for. So you will see in your workbook, you've got a couple of blank pages, and that is for you to just literally brainstorm every single task that you can think of that is necessary in your business, whether or not you're responsible for them right now or not, and get them out on paper. Absolutely everything from, emails right through to the bookkeeping, all of the things. And then what I'm going to do is a couple of pages down in your workbook, you'll see some pages that are split down the middle into likes and dislikes. And what you're going to do is you're going to take all of the tasks that you wrote on the blank pages and put them into a column of whether or not you like or dislike them. They are the tasks that you are responsible for and whether or not you like them or dislike them. Now, in my experience in business, the one thing that I always ended up being responsible for, whether or not I was in partnership or not, was the bookwork, was the numbers. I'm quite a logical mind. And so that was the role that I took on. However, it was one of the things that I absolutely hated. And so that is the one thing that I outsourced first when I was in a position to do so. So the happiness analysis is giving you an opportunity, even if it is that you're a team of one, to really identify what are the things that you like doing and what is it that you dislike doing. And so down in the future, we can start to look at what are the tasks that, if given the opportunity, you could outsource, what would they be? So go through, brainstorm all of the tasks in your business that you can possibly think of, and then go down and put them into the like or the dislike column. And then you've got everything allocated. And then what you can do is actually go down and kind of analyze in the dislike column. If I had the opportunity to automate or systemize or outsource any of those tasks in the dislike column, what would they be? What would be the first 3 things that I would like to outsource? Now, as I said, if you're a team of one, you don't yet have a VA, I still want you to do this because there could be somewhere a system or an automation that could take that role from you. So Get into your workbooks. Remember, this could take some time depending on how big your business is. Get all of those thoughts down on paper. This could be an evolving document. It may be that a couple of days down the track, you'll think of something else. You can add it to it and put it where it needs to belong, either the likes or dislikes. But jump into your workbooks now, and then we'll come back for the final step of step 5. Welcome back. How did you go with step 4? Were you quite surprised at the load that you carry with the number of tasks you're responsible for in your business? When you really start to consider the load that we do have to be responsible for on top of all of the decisions we need to make in our business, it's very easy to see how it is that we can become quite overwhelmed. Now, I want to encourage you to do 2 things when it comes to step 4, is to keep your list somewhere where you can see it, somewhere where it's at the forefront of your mind, so that in the next days, weeks ahead, you can add to that list. See it as an evolving document. I'm sure there's going to be tasks that come up that you hadn't yet considered and put on your list. And then take that list and put it somewhere in digital format, whether or not that is a spreadsheet or you use some software like Monday.com or Trello, somewhere where you can really keep a digital list of all of the tasks under all of the relevant headings, be it admin, finance, marketing, etc. And so if in the future you do bring on a VA or someone that is a contractor or a team member, you already have a comprehensive list of what the tasks are that are required in each area of your business. Now, let's get into step 5, and that is where we're looking at our business satisfaction check-in. Now, this has a couple of parts, but the first one is simply a quick tick the box exercise to identify the areas in your business that you are satisfied with. Now, the objective of this is to determine any of the key areas that you know need to change or that you know need to be realigned. Now, you're only going to tick the boxes that you are satisfied with. And I want you to go with your initial first feeling. Don't allow your head to get too involved. If you feel like, yes, satisfied, tick away. And then at the end, you're going to be able to identify what are the areas that you didn't tick a box for, and what is it in those areas that could do with some improving and some realigning, and you can add them to the bottom of the sheet in the workbook. Then, based on the results from your business satisfaction check-in, from your happiness analysis, really even from the review and reflection, you're going to be able to identify an area of your business that may need your focus and attention in the immediate future. And it may be about choosing what is your highest priority about changing within your business, whether or not that is your role or a certain area of your business. And you can add that into the second part of step 5 and look at what are 3 clear action steps that you can commit to implementing by a certain date to start to make this change to that area of your business. Now, my recommendation is, please only start with one area of your business. Do not try to take on multiple areas at once. When we take on too much, that is when we become overwhelmed. When we get into overwhelm, we generally do nothing, or we don't do anything well. So one area of your business, the one that is of your highest priority. Now, that could be because it's creating the greatest pain point. It could be that because it is affecting the business revenue or profitability the most. Whichever one you want to determine, choose one, create 3 clear, actionable steps to be able to start to move that back into alignment with what it is that you want it to look like, and be sure to give yourself a deadline. Now, when you have completed those action steps in that one area of your business, then and only then would you go back and then look at another key area of your business that you may want to develop. So inside your workbook, you will also see that I've got a bonus section, which is really your opportunity to sit and reflect and do a big summary of what it is that you've learned about you and your business across this masterclass. What have been your biggest aha moments, and what are your thoughts now that you may wish to explore a little bit further? And it is my hope that you've had at least one aha moment, even if that is you are right on track, you are where you need to be, you are feeling in flow and in alignment with your business. And if that's not the case, maybe it's identified some areas of your business that you are now conscious of, you are now aware of, and you can now start to put in place an action plan to bringing those back into an alignment with what it is that you want. Or is it that your goal might be to outsource some of those things? So I'm so grateful to you for, again, investing the time into yourself and into your business. If it is that I can be of support for you in your business, feel free to reach out. You can see in the workbook, there is steps there to book a complimentary free alignment chat with me to see whether or not we would be able to work together and I could be of service to you in your business. But until then, have a beautiful day, and thank you once again.